to see you both. Thank you so much for your time.
You too. Great to see you, man.
There was so much to love about this movie, and I love down the middle the, survival component, but the kind of traditional kind of, slasher component, everything. Alexandra, what was that like reading that balance in the script of Pitfall specifically? Both, because those are two different things.
Oh, it's fun. It's always nice. You look for different levels in a script like that. You don't want to risk just being one note the whole time. And it was cool that the script had a lot of different types of notes to play. So
absolutely. And Richard, good to see you again, man. I think I've lost track. Is this like your third or fourth time on the show at this point?
Probably.
Good to see you again. And I just wanted to know as well, like, when you get there, right? When you start, like, you get to Pitt Meadows and you're filming this and everything, what's that like officially, like seeing everything come to life, so to speak, and seeing kind of, the spikes and the traps and everything and just the scenery? Because it's like you can envision it in your head, but I feel like it only gets real when you get there.
It's Disneyland. It's like I grew up going to film sets because of my parents doing what they do. And yeah, like growing up, it always just thought a film set is like Disneyland, and it still is. I still have that same love for it as I did back then. So yeah, when I see everything coming to and just see Grip setting up lights, like there's nothing better in the world for me than that.
Absolutely. And question for both of you. We'll start with Alexandra. Both of you have worked in the horror genre before. I feel like it's getting kind of elevated all the time. I kind of wanted to know, Alexandra, like, what is your favorite thing about working in this genre when it is kind of like the big genre right now? Like they've always been around, but everything's been elevated popularity wise.
It's always been big to me. It's always now it's everyone's like horror's been saved, and I said horror never needed saving.
No,
if you had to like find it, that's on you. Horror never needed saving.
Yeah, horror's always had an
audience. The film business might have needed saving, and horror was there to do it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Fucking men to that.
Yeah. Horror was doing
industry.
Fine.
Yeah.
Horror was doing fine. Film needed a little bit of a boost, and horror did it. Yeah. It wasn't the other way around.
Well, it's also like the access. There's so much ways we watch films now, right? And I think like what's really exciting is with Pitfall, right? You guys premiered at Screamfest in LA, and then it's kind of these waves of people seeing a film, right? Like they see it at a film festival. There's a little bit of buzz, and then it's like, oh, Cineverse is putting it out. Like it's like I feel like it has to do also. It's like slow sometimes, right? For like people to find a movie.
Oh, sometimes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially for indie stuff that doesn't have massive PR campaigns behind it. That's kind of how it has to work.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, what's interesting about horror is that another thing that helped its popularity skyrocket was that celebrities started doing it. It used to be where you got your start. Where you wanted to get a foothold in the industry and nobody knew you would start in horror. But now there's this whole like celebrities are going back to horror, doing horror. So
100%.
Which I think is also very interesting because for a long time horror was considered like beneath a serious actor to do something scary. So I'm kind of wondering
so was TV
when that changed.
Look what happened there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
They came back to TV, which
I'm kind of wondering
that's where I was, and then they came back to horror, and you're like, you guys need to stay away.
Maybe we're not
from
debasing ourselves by doing horror.
You know what's really funny too? I remember, Richard, we talked about this a little bit in one of our past interviews. I remember, like, for me specifically, right? Like when I was watching shows like the 100, that's when in my head it was like, wow, TV's becoming like big now, right? Like these massive things. Like I remember that was kind of like the era a little bit too, with these like massive kind of shows, like these fantasies and stuff.
Some shows are like totally cinematic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I felt like when I watched the 100, Richard, like I thought it was so cinematic for a TV show.
We had the best crew on that, man. Like we honestly did, because they pulled that off with. The budget would surprise you with how good that show looked.
Oh, absolutely. Alexandra, I do want to kind of ask, in the beginning of the interview, I talked about, a lot of the different components. It's got the slasher component, it's got the survival component. Like, is there one, like, when you read the script for it, like, which one stood out more? Like, the survival component or the traditional kind of slasher in the woods component?
I mean, At first, the slasher component is what jumps out, especially with the cold open and all of that. The fact that it turns into a survival horror, I think, is a really cool direction for it to take. I think it's very smart because it is this sort of like, you think you're signing up for one experience, but then you're getting another one on top of that experience. Yeah. Which is really cool. And I feel also with the way the hunter, the way the villain is portrayed in this, there is also a psychological horror element as well, because he does toy with the people he hunts psychologically. So there's that as well, which is really fun to play for us.
Absolutely. Well, it's a good segue because, Richard, I find it interesting, right? Because, we didn't have a chance to talk about Final Destination Bloodlines. You were incredible in that one, by the way. Congratulations. Like, so good.
Thank you.
Shout out to Caitlin. And but like, it's interesting, right? Because you watch, like, I was watching this movie and like Pitfall, and for me, I guess because of the stakes of everything, like the idea of like people trapped in the woods and someone after them, like the scale feels big. You know what I mean? Even though it was like an indie film. Do you know what I mean by that? And then you look at something like that's what did you get that a little bit from Pitfall? Like I felt like the stakes were so high. It made it feel big scale from my perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's hard to tell when you're, there on set and you look around and you certainly see less crew than you sometimes see. Like if you were to look around on Final Destination in between takes, you would see a lot more people than if you looked around in between takes on Pitfall. That's a vast difference. So it's kind of hard to say it in those moments, but then when you see the movie, which I actually did recently, finally, it comes off. It's like none of that ever mattered because it does come off in such a bigger scale than I, could have hoped. And I'm really happy with how it turned out in that way.
Yeah. And an amazing cast, like just so good. Everyone was so good as Jordan Claire Robbins, Matt Hamilton, like incredible cast. And it's crazy. Like, does it feel something like, because like you all also know each other, like the people, like I know a lot of people on this movie like have worked before together, or like did you like all know each other before? Like I'm just wondering because there's a lot of like this was shot in Vancouver, some Vancouver actors, but like did anyone know, like did it feel like a family at one point? Like can be like, oh, there's a lot of mutuals or anything? Like I'm just curious about that.
I don't know. I don't think I had worked with anyone prior to, surprisingly. I knew Matt in the sense of over the years we both enjoy a pint or two, so we'd see each other at a bar maybe. So,
but not officially like in a work. Yeah, okay. So that was the first time you and Matt Hamilton like worked together on something.
Yeah, no, we'd never.
That's kind of surprise. Like I feel is that like safe? That's interesting to me. I would
assume like, especially in this town. I mean, usually you kind of cross paths with people, but we all kind of got along very quickly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Did you, Alexandra? Did you work with anyone before this, or
I had not met a single soul on this project before.
Wow.
But I live in LA. I've lived in LA for a very long time. But I mean, I had seen Jordan in Umbrella Academy. I thought she was wonderful.
Yeah.
I was really excited to work with her. Richard as well. I was like, the only other person I recognized.
Well, I think it's credit to you all because when I was watching this, like, there's just seemed to be like really good chemistry between all the actors. So I guess in my head, I just assumed, you know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, I know. We were really lucky. We had such a great time together.
Yeah, we really did.
Absolutely. Last question before we wrap up for both of you, Richard, we'll start with you. I mean, when you get like, this is what it's all about, right? Like kind of what we talked about, these kind of slasher films, escaping and everything and like putting it on. And a movie like Pitfall will be part of kind of horror movie marathons like throughout the year, you know what I mean? Because people like myself watch them all year round. Like, what are you hoping they get out of it specifically with this film, Pitfall, when they get to watch it, like takeaway wise, Richard?
Entertainment. That's purely when I read it. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I said this on one of our other interviews, and maybe it's not the best look for me to answer it this way, but like when I read it, I was like, this is the type of movie that if I had had a couple of drinks with me and my pals and we wanted to put on a horror movie, which we do
Yeah.
Not too frequently. Not a problem frequently, just the right amount of frequency. This would be the type of movie I'd watch. And those are some of my favorite types of movies. Is that type of thing, is like have a couple of beers and throw on a horror movie and have a good time. That's what I hope people take from this.
It's
not
immersive.
That it's necessary that you need to have a drink.
Yeah.
But if you do, maybe
But if you enjoy a drink, this is a great opportunity to have one.
To throw it together.
And
it's very immersive too. Like the film, this one specific is very immersive. You know what I mean?
Kills, like it's just the type of thing that you could have, you're having a glass of whiskey and the kills happen and you're like, woo.
There's a lot of ways to be entertained by this movie, I think. There's a lot here. The kills are entertaining. The characters are entertaining. The dialogue is entertaining, The story has a lot of surprises in it, which is nice.
Yeah, people are going to be able to see it on VOD via Cineverse. That's Pitfall. Good to see you both. Congratulations. And thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much, man. This was fun.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.